Hey Coastal, Kate Carney here, and this is Closing with a Quote. At Coastal, we use a revenue management system called YieldStar. As part of this system, our prices can change by the week or even the day. To make a complicated pricing system easier for our prospects to understand, we use something called custom quotes. What's a custom quote? Simply put, a custom quote is an easy to read, printed description of how much the apartment is going to cost. But what a quote can really do is help us secure a lease by focusing on the prospect's top choices, reinforcing value, and giving us multiple opportunities to close. Think about the last time you booked an airline ticket. You may have tried a couple different dates, airlines, times before you finally found your flight. As you're staring at that final booking page before you hit submit, you feel excited because you finally found what you're looking for. You feel nervous because you know that pricing and availability for airlines changes by the minute. And you feel confident because you can see the exact cost right in front of you. A custom quote invokes the same emotions from our prospects while finding an apartment. Now, we know that finding a new home is a little bit more stressful than hopping on a plane. For our prospects, we honor price quotes for 7 days after issue if you're a student site and 2 days after issue if you're a conventional site. So I know what you're thinking. Well, how am I supposed to get this airline urgency and close immediately when you just told me that a prospect has 2 to 7 days? Well, I'm going to tell you in 3 easy steps. Step 1, take the time to close. Always end your tour sitting down. Invite the prospect back to the office to get their IDs, but take this time to ask them if they have any additional questions and utilize that quote. Step 2, assume and summarize. Print your quote out, put it in front of your prospect, review it in detail. Here you're going to use 2 closing techniques, assumptive and summary. Don't just slide the quote out in front of your prospect and say, here's the price for 102, you want it? Recap the features and benefits the prospect loved about the apartment. Point out the dates, the price, review the quote in detail. While you're summarizing, use assumptive language. Instead of saying the apartment, say your apartment. Take it a step further by saying your apartment on the 2nd floor facing the woods with that balcony you loved. By using assumptive language and summarizing, you're putting the prospect in the mindset of ownership and reinforcing the value for the home. Remember, oftentimes when a prospect tells us that something is too expensive, what they're actually saying is, I don't see the value. You need to remind them why they love the apartment and that it's worth the price. Don't just throw a number at them. Step 3, create urgency and ask directly. Many prospects are going to feel that they've got a period of time to decide based upon the quote. It's your job to make sure they know that this quote secures their price, but it does not secure their apartment. When you're reviewing the quote, go to that quote expiration last. Point it out and make sure they understand that this quote is not going to stop anyone from coming behind them to take the apartment of their dreams. Once you've created that urgency, just ask directly. Mrs. Smith, your quote is set to expire on May 2nd, but I want to make sure you know that this holds your price, but not the apartment. If you're really interested in the apartment, I advise you to take it now so that no one can take it from you. Do you want to leave your deposit today? If you don't get your prospect on the first try, the next step is easy. Follow up. Remember that the majority of leases are going to be signed between the 5th and the 12th contact, and that quote has a built-in reason for you to call your prospect. Make sure you watch when those quotes are expiring. You should call every single prospect with an expiring quote and go in for that close again. The best advice I can give you when closing with a quote is to be brave and deliver with confidence. Remember, when it comes to closing, the worst that can happen if you ask is you get a no, but the only way to get a yes is to ask. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or need anything, shoot me an email, and I will talk to you soon. Happy leasing Coastal Ridge.